Hi guys, my name is Shane Cashin, and you are watching Tennis Ninja TV. Aloha Tennis Ninja fans, welcome again to Tennis Ninja TV. I am Shane Cashin, you know me already as the Tennis Ninja, but I'll say it again. We had Andrew Somerville last time, our first ever junior guest. Today we're going to keep the junior theme going. So guys, I have a guest I am very honored to have on the show today. She was actually one of the first students I ever had in Kailua when I first started over there, coached with Evan Loya and Team Kailua. And I'm so proud of the young lady she's becoming and what she can do next. She's a varsity tennis player on the Kalaheo high school team as well, and she has a very, very high rank in the state of Hawaii. Guys, say hi to Larissa Teramura. What's up, Larissa?
Hi, Coach Shane. Thanks for having me today.
What's it been like, Larissa? Off the court, then back on the court. Your life is basically tennis, and then there's no tennis for 2 months. What's that been like?
Yeah, that was crazy for the 2 months. I was just hitting in like the street with like a mini net my mom had, just trying to like keep my strokes okay. But it was crazy. The first day back, I was just felt so exhilarating, because I've missed it for so long. I just really enjoy being on the court, and that experience when I first came back is something that I cannot forget. It was just so fun.
What's it been like for a tournament player like yourself, Larissa, coming back from this break and all of a sudden you're back in the mix? Like, are you training right away? Or are you just in for fun? Or like, what's the story?
I've been trying to get back into training, but more like easing into it so that my body can like handle it, because all the moving around the court is definitely physically hard on the body. So I just don't want to hurt myself when I come back right away. But I have been playing for fun a little bit with my friends as well, just so that I can just work on my strokes and the basic parts of my game.
Interview guests I've had have told me they have picked up new hobbies. They find new things to do at home. Like, what'd you do to keep busy this whole time?
I just continued to do my schoolwork, even though it didn't really count. I just wanted to keep my brain fresh. And I just did a lot of other forms of fitness, like running, swimming at the beach because the pools were closed too. A little bit of lifting just to keep myself busy and try to stay in the best shape I could coming back.
Larissa, everybody knows you now after years of seeing you play in tournaments, but what's the story with Larissa Teramura starting tennis? Like, what was the inspiration to pick up a racket all those years ago?
Well, my parents always liked playing with each other for fun. So it just made sense to start including me in there, teaching me the basic fundamentals and like just having me go outside and have family time with them. It was just the sport that I fell in love with first. I just loved it the most. Even though I've tried like a bunch of other sports, it's definitely been my favorite all these years. And I just like constantly improving and working on my game.
What's the attraction to it? I'm just curious.
I just really enjoy being on the court. I mean, I've made some friends on the high school team and at tournaments. I also just like all the drills. It just makes me constantly focused on what I need to work on. And I like that challenge.
Now, all your siblings have picked up a racket at least one point in time in
Yeah.
their career, right?
hmm
What's that been like, having siblings that you can even go hit balls with even for fun?
I think it just makes me more competitive, honestly, because I want to stay the best because I'm the oldest. And I can always just practice with them and have more family time, I guess.
She does have two siblings, guys, Landon and Lucy Teramura, which if you're seeing this video, guys, what's up? Good to see you guys. Lucy was also, and Landon were also part of the Team Kailua Junior program, which Larissa was also part of, and that's where I met you, Larissa. So you were playing tennis originally with Coach Evan Loya and the Team Kailua Junior program, and you started playing JTT, which stands for Junior Team Tennis, for you guys who don't know out there, and just getting to experience the team aspect compared to the tournament aspect, which you're playing more now. What was that like going through junior team tennis as like maybe one of your first competitive tennis experiences?
I feel like it just helped me a lot, either like socially and with my game, because I mean, you play so many different people in junior team tennis. Like at tournaments, it's like the same people. So you can play people of different levels, tournament level players, beginners, and it teaches you how to play with both. I mean, the transition to tournament tennis was a little bit rough at the beginning, though, because all of those people are very intense, and it's another level of play. But junior team tennis did help me make that transition smoother than just going from practices to full-on tournaments.
What was that like, Larissa, getting to play with Team Kailua kids back in the day? I mean, not saying this is a plug on our program or anything, but take us through your experiences playing with teammates early on.
I felt like it definitely helped me because I've always been more drawn to individual sports, but making it into more of a team aspect helped me make new connections and friends. Like I've been with Jonah in junior team tennis forever, and both of us transitioned to tournaments around the same time. So we've just been able to have that strong relationship and friendship because of junior team tennis.
All of a sudden, I see your mom throw your name in, I think it was a Pearl Harbor event.
Yeah.
So began Larissa's tournament journey. What was the inspiration behind starting to do tournaments? Did you know it was the right time to do it and you wanted that challenge, or did mom just say, go do it?
I felt like it was the right time for me to start playing tournaments because my level at Team Kailua, it was hard for me to find people to practice with all the time. And I thought it might be fun to try something different and play people as supposed at a higher level and people I had never played before. I just thought it was definitely the right time for tournaments. I was at the older edge of the 12s age group, so I had a little bit of maturity maybe starting into tournaments.
Larissa, do you remember any particular memories about your early tournament experiences and then kind of leading up to now?
I mean, I won my first tournament, which was like a challenger, so it helped me see where I stood kind of in the beginning. But when I played my first DT, that was definitely a different experience than just the smaller Pearl Harbors. I mean, the level was insane. I played Kylie Canavita the first time, and that was pretty wild. It just showed me the different level that I would have to raise myself to in the future.
You know, Larissa, well, we got this minute. That's actually a big one. I think a lot of kids in particular, they're just not familiar with the different types of junior tournaments out there, let alone knowing there are tournaments plus the JTT. What do you notice, Larissa, is the differences between, let's say, the Pearl Harbor events, which we call them Pearl Harbors, guys. They're not actually at Pearl Harbor, but they used to for years. Larissa, what do you see as the biggest difference between the Pearl Harbor events and the DTs? Is there like a level difference? Is there a competitive difference?
Well, there's different like perks of each one. So at the Pearl Harbor tournaments, if you play open, there's not a backdraw. So you don't have that same opportunity as in if you were at a DT, you have a backdraw and a second chance. But Pearl Harbors are definitely smaller than DTs because they're ranked lower, so you don't earn as many points that can help you move up in the ranks. But you can also play 2 singles at Pearl Harbors. So you can play more matches, play different people, play up, like in age rank. But in DTs, you can only play 1 singles. But since the draw is larger, you still might get more matches in. It kind of just depends on where it lands.
So there is a pretty significant difference you find in competing at both of those arenas.
Yeah. I mean, there is slightly a level difference sometimes because a lot of the higher ranked players don't play at Pearl Harbors if they don't need the points. They'd rather just train over the weekends. But yeah, there still are high level players there because they like getting the match play in, the practice tournament experience, and things like that.
Now, take us through your highlights, Larissa. Any particular like milestones in your junior career so far you remember fondly in those tournaments? Like any memorable matches, victories you've had, or lessons you've learned, tournament victories you've had? I mean, you must have had a bunch by now.
Probably one of the most memorable things was when I initially lost in my first DT because it like shocked me into how crazy and strong the tournament world is. But another positive memory was when I won my first DT. I think it was March 14th, a year or two ago. I think 2 years ago now. That's crazy. But it showed me how far I've come and how much my level has changed since playing tournaments. It gave me a lot more confidence in myself, and those wins helped me keep on going and wanting to play more.
Do you have any particular matches you remember that, like, because every player, I would probably admit, even the pros, there's always one tennis match that kind of defines maybe their career, but also they remember the most because maybe they were the most invested in it. Do you have any particular matches that stand out to you over the years?
Probably my 3.5 hour match against Sarah Domingo.
I heard about that one.
Because for one, that was just so long. I pushed my body to the limits because I wanted to win after that long time, That match probably was one I was one of the most invested in because it determined whether I won OIAs, which was going to be a huge milestone in my tennis career. It defined me who I was because it showed how long I could last, but also it showed me a bit of my limits and what I need to work on.
I remember hearing about that from, I think it was your mom and your coach. And sure enough, players would start circulating it too. And I was like, wow, like this was that 10, 11-year-old girl that I learned about for the first time years ago. I coached a little bit and now she's a gladiator on the court. And I'm so proud of you, Larissa, just hearing those stories and seeing all that. So it's exciting to watch that stuff too. Larissa, do you have any other particular highlights though you remember from your junior career so far that have been very memorable experiences for you that maybe have taught you a lot of life lessons even along the way, you think?
I would probably like to say when I went back to winning my first DT, because the girl I beat in the final was Kylie Canavita, who I'd lost to my first DT. So that was just a huge moment for me emotionally because I was able to finally overcome that obstacle since I've had since the first DT. I was finally a DT winner because winning one of those is just a huge accomplishment to anyone here. Probably another time was this year when I lost to Kiana Oda in the finals of 18s. She's ranked #1 in the state right now. The fact that I was able to split sets with her was just incredible for my confidence. She's going to a D1 college. Maybe it shows that I can go there too. More hope in my future goals for tennis and things like that.
All these girls she's mentioning, guys, they're like top juniors in the state of Hawaii. And they're tough. I've seen Larissa play both of these girls and they are solid. It's always an entertaining match to watch, but it's cool you've learned so much playing against these kind of players, which then I think is a good transition, Larissa, to your high school career. You already mentioned the OIAs. That must be a totally different venue than playing tournaments really for the last 2 or 3 years, even before that. What's that been like playing on a team again, but this time for a school that represents so much more than just maybe one ball and one racket?
I just feel like it's so much more important that I represent myself with poise because I'm representing an entire school. I'm like an ambassador for my school. We're traveling to different places. I'm not just representing myself and my family as I do in a tournament. I'm representing everyone that I know because they all associate me with my school. It is kind of different being on a team again because, it's so important that we get team wins as well as just individual wins. So your win matters so much more now once that I'm on the team.
What's that been like the last years or two? Take us through some highlights, Larissa, of the Kalaheo Mustangs from the last, season or two for you. Because you're going to be a junior this upcoming year, correct?
Yeah. Probably one highlight was me winning Easterns last year because I don't think anyone from Kalaheo has ever done that before. So I feel like this kind of historic and just a proud moment for me. It was nice that I was undefeated up to that point. So that was also just another huge accomplishment for me. Qualifying for states was pretty nice. I was a little bummed that I wasn't able to win OIAs as well because that kind of affected my seeding at states. It was just nice being able to travel and go to the Big Island for the first time. And it was just,
awesome.
yeah, it was my first time. It was nice that all the tournament players were there too, but it was a completely different setting because not everyone plays in the same age group in tournaments. So you could be playing younger girls, older girls, but they're all just as good. You just don't usually get to play them. So I thought that was another great opportunity, was going to States.
What was that like, actually, being a player in the middle of your season, all of a sudden, coach says, no tennis for the rest of the season? Like, was it like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I was just really sad. I was having a pretty good season. I was undefeated. I was just mostly really sad for all the seniors on my team because this was their last year. They made up the majority of my team. I mean, they all love tennis and they didn't get to finish it out. At least I still have 2 more years and 2 more chances. This was like their last chance for high school tennis, and I just felt really bad.
What was it like, though, having older kids and players, even regardless of level, on the same squad and same team as you? I mean, you've had tournament players you've met in these tournaments, even playing with you for the same school, and you guys are practicing together. I mean, what's that like, having camaraderie on all levels and all experiences in your life so far on one team?
I think that it's really helpful because the seniors and older kids' maturity really helps me like act well on the court and not react badly because I want to represent them and the rest of my school. And they always emphasize that. It's also kind of nice having younger people on the team because you can kind of lead them, guide them, help them with their tennis. The Kalaheo team is just a huge community, and everyone is just friends with each other and cool with each other. And I feel like that definitely helps our team, like, just bond.
High school tennis, I totally will never forget. That is an experience where you grow and you meet so many people, and you can say you played all walks of life and you talked with all walks of life.
Yeah.
So it's an experience you'll never forget, for sure. Now, we're in the summertime, though, of 2020. There is some uncertainty in terms of going back to school or playing tennis, but if all is kind of lining up the way it normally does every year, Larissa, do you have any thoughts or predictions going into your junior year?
Well, I have more like goals, not really. I don't want to predict certain things because I don't want to seem overly confident in myself. I feel like if I just have more like goals, then it's just easier for me to achieve. And some of my goals are to win Easterns again in tennis because I guess I'm technically still reigning Eastern champ.
That's right.
um, I
Technically.
mean, yeah. I mean, hopefully I can win OIAs this year or at least get second again. I would like to do better at states if I'm able to qualify because last year I made it to the second round, which isn't bad for a freshman, of course.
Sure.
But
It's huge.
I would definitely like to do better and hopefully get ranked this time because there's a little bit more security in being ranked at high school states. For tournaments, I would definitely like to try to win a DT again because that would show colleges, that I'm a high level and that I'm ready for possibly Division I. I'm hoping to start contacting college coaches and things because it's my junior year and it's very important to start getting noticed. Maybe I can try and qualify for a national tournament
Awesome.
because those are just so fun. You get to play people you've never seen before, different levels, different styles of play. Like when I went to internationals, it was such a great experience. So I'm hoping to do that again.
So, Larissa, that brings us up to my favorite part, which is rapid fire question time. So, this is the best part of the interview, Larissa. I'll just ask short questions. We'll keep the answers real short and quick. I'll bang out one after the other. We'll have some fun. And probably a lot of us who didn't know you will know you now and who you're all about. So, what do you think? You feel ready?
Ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
Well, without further ado, here we go. Larissa, what is your favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite music artist?
New Hope Club.
Role model growing up? Who was your role model?
Probably my parents, just both of them.
Racket of choice. What's your current racket you use?
The Babolat Pure Drive.
Favorite movie?
The Swap?
The
I don't
Swap?
know.
What's that
I
one?
don't know. It's based off of one of my favorite books.
Most memorable Hawaii tennis experience?
Winning my first DT.
She's mentioned that a couple times, guys. I was there actually for that match victory. I was so stoked for her. Favorite hair product or makeup product?
Just a regular hair tie.
Such a complicated question, but simple answers. I love it. Favorite Hawaii tennis courts? Where do you like to go hit?
Probably just the Kailua courts. The original.
Kailua District Park, guys. Home of Team Kailua. And our new program coming up, by the way. Favorite beach?
Kailua Beach.
That's 2 for 2, guys. That was Andrew's favorite beach, too. You just must go there. I don't know. Favorite place to eat?
Roy's.
Ooh, you're classy, aren't you? Awesome. Hawaii clothing of choice.
I always love the hokuleis. They're so pretty.
What are hokuleis? I'm not sure what that is.
The ones that go on the head of the flowers.
Oh, okay. There you go. The head lay with flowers, right? That's right.
I think it might be haku. It's either haku or I think it's hakuleis.
Guys, I've lived in Hawaii all my life. I don't know this. What's wrong with me? Singles or doubles? What do you like better?
Singles.
Singles. Forehand or backhand?
I don't know. It kind of just depends on the day.
Favorite pro tennis player?
Probably Roger Federer.
Favorite Grand Slam?
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. Why Wimbledon? Just curious.
It's just so classy and traditional, and I just feel like it's so cool to play on grass.
If you could give one tip to an aspiring junior player or a complete beginner, what would you tell them?
Definitely consistency is key. That's just what I've done my entire tennis career. And I just feel like you just have to have consistency. It's always something you can fall back on if your game's not good that day. It's just something that can save you in the game. It can help you get out of almost every situation. It just works for my game because I'm really a physical player. So just being able to keep the ball in all the time is a very important skill that I feel like all tennis players should learn, whether it's a beginner or just an aspiring junior player.
That's a golden tip, Larissa. Consistency. Never miss a ball, guys. That's Larissa Teramura. You have the floor right now, Larissa. I want to leave things open for closing thoughts. Is there anything you'd like to say to the Hawaii tennis community right now or your teammates in Kalaheo?
I think it's just so important for the tennis community right now to just stay together and strong, because this coronavirus thing made things a little rough for us, even though it's not that difficult to socially distance playing tennis. Just try to get back into it, stay positive, and hopefully everyone's game can continue to grow. Thanks, Coach Stefan, for letting me play singles for these past 2 seasons. And thanks, Coach Evan, for helping me improve my tournament game so much. And you, Coach Shade, because you've definitely kept me motivated and positive just throughout my Team Kailua and tournament career, because you always come to support me still.
Oh, gosh. That means a lot, Larissa. Thank you. I mean, I got a chance to catch the tail end of your Team Kailua career before you moved on to bigger and better things. But my gosh, I'm so proud of you, Larissa. I am very excited for what you've got next in your, career, whether it's on the court or off the court. Keep up doing what you're doing. Keep being an inspiration to your teammates out there. And thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Coach Shane.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Tennis Ninja TV. Guys, checking out these interviews. Again, juniors, do not run away. You will make this show one day, I promise. We need junior potential out here, guys, and I think it's important to shine a light, especially for you kids and families out there. Maybe you're on the fence about a sport, and you see these kids doing these things in tennis. It's not a bad sport, guys. You might want to check it out. Hope to see you on the next video, guys. God bless, be safe, and aloha. Laters, guys.